Tonight from Knox Vegas, college basketball pitch, the Sun Belt versus the SEC, and the Tennessee Volunteers roll out the welcome mat for the 0-9 Eagles from Georgia Southern. Volunteers 12th ranked team in the country, fresh off a top 25 win against Illinois. Welcome courtside, everybody. Tom Hart along research. Tennessee hasn't had much success against Georgia Southern.
They have not. Now, they've never played Georgia Southern, but they still have never beaten
Rick Barnes is 31-0 in his career against Sun Belt Conference teams. Here's Santiago Vescovi, and a touch inside for Jonas Aidoo. Tennessee will have a huge advantage in the interior tonight, and so they start off getting it to Aidoo, shooting 51% from the floor.
Well, the message from Rick Barnes and his team over the last couple of weeks has been, we're going to establish that painted position.
Oh boy, Vescovi just went down on the screen up top. Then a coaching experience was with the Windy City Bulls. He was a Chicago Bulls assistant and spent time in the NBA before rejoining forces with Nate Oates at Alabama. Aidoo inside, and he gets fouled and will go to the line. Georgia Southern will put you at the
process, but I think that's one of the main reasons of frequent rate tonight.
Aidoo goes 1 of 2 from the line. That foul was on Avante Parker, the freshman center. A touch for Curry and another turnover. He started his career playing at Ole Miss, and he's seeing some more playing time lately. Here's Connect. Where's Tennessee at its best offensively?
Getting the ball side to side. They're one of the better off-ball screening teams that there is, and that's what happens. Challenge, I know that. One of the big reasons why they fought their way back in that game.
Here's Curry, and rebounded by Josiah Jordan-James. And now Ziegler with the drive and kick, all alone for 3. Got it! I said it might be a career night. Why not? Only he has struggled this year, Jimmy. Just 2 for 11 on close twos. When he joined this league and had such a fantastic first year at Tennessee, even at 5'9", he was really finishing. Here's Aidoo with the steal. Gonna take it himself. Big fella's already got double possessions to start this game. They've turned it over 4 times. Got it in the paint, and they get a foul. Mashak commits his first.
The number of times they put the Boilermakers on that free throw line.
Santiago Vescovi a moment ago. Curry goes 2 for 2. Vescovi shares it to James. Like he just couldn't get a clean handle on it. Here's Gainey. Ball fake. Nice pass. Another offensive rebound. And Awaka's got a bucket. That's the first non-Aidoo bucket of the night.
How about that? It was really good defensive sequence by Georgia Southern, but you've got to finish it off with that defensive board.
Franklin throws in a 3. That's Jamar Franklin, who's shooting for the possessions. It's being empty on their first 8 tries. James with the rebound. And the 2 veterans playing a good 2-man game. The assist to Vescovi on the 3 from James.
That time it was Josiah Jordan-James with a clean look.
It's back where I usually sit.
Yeah, you are back there by the blue water quite often.
First to board, last to leave. Good hands and a rip by Gainey. Chance for Tennessee in transition, and he got tied up and will go to the line. Transferred in from you.
Is 42%, Tom, on catch and shoot threes.
And that's what makes them so hard to defend?
I think it is. Not a lot of teams do that off-ball screening action like Tennessee. As Aidoo says, I've made one, why not another?
He has still outscored Georgia Southern, even though he's been on the bench the last 3 minutes. Aidoo's got a dozen. Georgia Southern has 5. See, Franklin was impacted with Aidoo's presence in the paint. Moore whistle for the offensive foul, his first. Welcome to the Jonas Aidoo show. Flagrant foul for a shot to the head. Lee Cassell just informing us. Watch that right there. That put Mashak down. They reviewed it. And so
Bailey Jr.
Yeah. And Jalen Tate, who played at Arkansas at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Is that what it is in Belgium?
Give or take. Corralled by Nate Bradford. Banks from Eatonton, Georgia, to Putnam County.
Yeah, good offense. Really good job by Banks to dribble hard and to dribble handoff, not get called for the moving screen to free up the jump shot.
Adu is looking at another high percentage look, and Moore committed his second.
He's just too much confidence. He went right at Armando Baycott at North Carolina in that second half. Rick learned this about Rick Barnes today. He does not like cold soup.
He's getting more and more confident in what he's able to do physically. And Jimmy, my question, and this is a turnover to 2-on-1. Carr hustling his way back for the block. Wow! And another one from James. Carr was like a lion chasing him down, and now Harris's three is off. Here's a guy who doesn't give up.
Well, their pursuit of the basketball is always in place, but this recovery length and recovery speed and explosiveness by 43 and White, that's some special stuff. And certainly Tennessee wants to win the game tonight, but they also want to win the opportunity. What the opportunity is, with some of these guys that haven't gotten a lot of minutes on the floor in live action. Carr, one of those guys.
Yeah, that ball was at the top of the box when he went out to get it. Back to Ziegler. A healthy Zakai Ziegler means what to Tennessee? Nice slip and Gainey finishes.
Yeah, they are just carving up that Georgia Southern. Good action.
The baseline out of bounds, a three for Gainey.
Tom, that's such good action.
Rebound by James.
Really good job of winning the elbow, and Rick Barnes, he wants his point guards to rush that thing through the elbow. And if you can't get it, at least cut through. It looks to me, I'll ask you, but it looks to me like.
I agree with you. I think the one counter to that is Kentucky is getting healthier.
This season, Dillingham's been really good, explosive, but man, Reed Shepherd knows the value of putting on that Kentucky jersey for sure.
Speaking of Shepherd, he leads the league in steals, better than 2 steals a game. And I asked him earlier this season, here's Dean off balance, tough shot, where that drive came from defensively. And he said, adding bigs, what makes Ole Miss so tough here early on?
Well, defensively, they know who they are. And that's no surprise. Almost a shot clock violation. And there's that airplane run out by Adu. Man.
And they're going to count it. I believe they call goaltending on that. Yeah, they'll count it and they'll go to the line for an and one.
Tennessee is so good this year, and Rick Barnes wants a high possession game. And Ziegler with a pass ahead. If you don't have size that can run what they do, but started back there in that Kentucky LSU game at the end of that game. Yeah.
Freddie Dilion on the floor for Tennessee. He's been battling some injuries, partially torn left plantar fascia against Wofford earlier this season. Very talented backcourt on the floor for Tennessee right now.
I've lost my edge. Nothing about that. And that's not easy.
Flown back and forth to Uruguay for his grandmother's
start and accepted all of them with a lot of grace and humility.
Preseason first team all SEC. Bradford puts it on the floor. Ziegler takes it away. Numbers for the ball. Ziegler shovels it up, and Dilion finishes.
If you attack
the administration and the leadership at Georgia Southern, that this is the right spot for me. And whether or not he was looking, all 3 assistants from Nate Oates' staff last year, that team that reached #1, had a #1 seed in the tournament, they all got head coaching jobs. Dilion with the 3.
Ball, because we're into the week 6 poll right now in the AP poll. I think it's so interesting, Tom, with Feast Week and the challenges behind us. The significance of the AP poll this week. Since 2004, the eventual national champion has been ranked inside the top 12 of the week 6 AP poll. So if you're looking for this year's national champion, they're somewhere ranked in that top 12, most likely.
Adu with the block after the bucket, then he got scored on, but what a game so far. By the way, the highest ranked of those national champions, here's Ziegler off the window.
Like in terms of the worst ranking?
Yeah, in terms of the worst. The biggest difference from an analytics standpoint, just strictly the numbers, Connect with the ball in his hands now, between being able to execute, what a play by Connect, that's his first bucket of the game, is their inability to finish at the rim. Georgia Southern, close twos is shooting just 49%. They only have 6 dunks on the year. Alabama last year, same system, 61% close twos, and they average 4 dunks a game. 3 goes for Cam Bryant. These numbers are going to get better once they get in their conference
Yeah,
play.
yes, no doubt. But you won't go back and watch your last couple of games. They don't get to that rim at the highest rate. And to your point, when they do, they have missed a lot of rim shots. And Awaka is so good off that empty corner, naked side, his nose dirty. And
Going to see as Ziegler takes a seat is already. Beautiful pass and a flush. J.P. Estrella.
good job by Estrella to get that dunker spot. You set that ball screen, that early drag screen up top by Awaka. He just pivots out of it, knowing exactly where Estrella was waiting for it.
Tennessee has made each of its last 7 field goal attempts. Georgia Southern 2 for their last 12.
Hands up, hands up.
Dean with the drive. Got fouled by Connect. An assist. And gets a mission to the Stars. Jeff Mears sitting courtside with us. Dug up a impressive but disturbing number on Deuce Dean. Jimmy, he's picked up 16 technical fouls in his career.
You kidding me?
He would not be good dealing with the stress of trying to find a valet in Knoxville, Tennessee. A jump hook and a finish from Estrella.
I think he's going to be a big minute kid, and this year going to be of great value because he's all of 6'11", and the
Georgia Southern starts with possession to start the second half. What do you think the Rick Barnes message was in the locker room?
play the right way. I mean, you saw in that opening possession right there, you let the ball be driven right through the middle of your defense, and this is a guy that's about doing it the right way.
It's your job to play your best.
Well put by one of the all-time best.
Side Jordan James. No. Adu, yes.
And Adu has passed the ball in traffic. He's
Fouls. Here's Ziegler with a burst. Left it short. Torn ACL late in the season last year for Ziegler, and a 3 answer from Tyron Moore. His first. By the way,
Tennessee really squares you up. They seldom are they out of position. I don't know what side Jordan James was doing, just completely opened up his hips and no weak side defense at all. But typically they bear hug the ball about as well as anybody in the college game.
Ziegler lost his footing. Here's Vescovi. And then Adu follows his miss. Golly, what an effort. 25 now for the big fella.
Hasn't he played with a lot of energy tonight, Adu?
Energy, confidence,
Yeah.
It was tipped, no backcourt violation. Georgia Southern has been held at 20% shooting so far in this game. And that's with a flurry of makes here in the second half. And another one, this one from deep, coming following the analytic blueprint. Only 6 two-point field goals from outside the paint were even attempted in the first half. That's combined, both sides. Adu got a bump from Bradford, which is
Healthy. A big part of that piece. He's
6 tonight. The challenge for Mississippi State, depending on they could be in a hole early on before he comes back.
And you could almost say that about everybody's schedule in the league this year,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it is going to be quite the grind. I continue to believe that there's 8 NCAA tournament teams out of the SEC this year would practice, and the practice would still look the same. That's Tennessee, because Josiah Jordan James and Vescovi would control that practice and run it just like it's supposed to be ran. Not a lot of teams can say that.
Monte Parker with the block on the defensive end. Here's Bradford. Slow turnaround for Nate Bradford, who's got all
Down from guys like Grant Williams to Fulke, Josiah Jordan James. He's one of the great ambassadors for this Tennessee campus, not just Tennessee basketball, Josiah Jordan James.
Tobe Awaka gets the bucket. He's
I think it's Tennessee running their basic right now. They set screens, they wrap them, they get the ball side to side.
Here's Connect. And he'll go to the free throw line.
He's much more than a
Find a way to defend.
Taylon Cooper's doing a good job. Lunch today talking about chicken tacos and cold soup. He said the same thing.
To play in December if you don't play conference.
No, that's a good point.
Mashack stays in front of his guy, but then commits the foul. And an N1 opportunity coming for Georgia
State at 7-2 with wins over UNC Wilmington, who won at Kentucky, and then they beat Auburn. That Sun Belt be a real challenge for Charlie, but it's a good job and a good league to build his brand and build his name as a head coach.
Obeawaka with the bucket. How about that? Bruce doing a favor to former staff member by going into Boone, and he repaid him. Played on the second of the two national championship teams back-to-back. He was playing behind guys like Joakim Noah and Al Horford as a freshman. Ziegler spins it in. Then he came in here as a sophomore, had 23 points. I said, what do you remember from that game? He said, that got me in the league, man. It got me drafted.
Just one game can do it.
Manny Harris with another 3. 8 of his 10 have come since the break.
Yeah, Maurice has had a training facility down there in Florida that has parlayed him into assistant coach at the college level. Well, he played, it was part of a great program there, right? Florida,
oh, my goodness.
Still the last team to win it back-to-back years, right?
That's right.
UConn could do it this year. If I had to buy a team right now nationally, Tom, because of where they are and their potential of where they could end up, I'm not so sure I wouldn't choose UConn as my favorite. And Arizona is a little bit more of a finished product right now in December, but I like UConn. They have not even touched their potential because of injuries and they've dealt with. But I think Hurley's got this thing figured out.
Won a game. And there are 7 teams left in men's college basketball who haven't suffered a loss yet this year, including Houston, 4th-ranked team in the country. Baylor. And I was with Fran Fraschilla last weekend. Noted Big 12 guru. He was all over that Baylor team. Thinks they're going to be fantastic. Ole Miss, the only one of the undefeateds, has yet to be ranked.
Tom, offensively, Baylor with glass in the second half. I said
at the half, 49-21.
When he first caught it.
Tennessee shooting just 25% in the second half. That includes 0 for 8 from 3. And a whistle away from the ball.
Night, Tennessee with a number 5 defensive efficiency defense in the second half has not lived up to that number beside their name half than they were in the first half, no doubt.
Physical play, Tyron Moore unable to get it to go. Numbers for Tennessee on the other side. Connect deep in the corner. Perfect rotation. That's his first 3 of the night.
Such a natural release by.
At 37 on the road against North Carolina. It tied the scoring record for an opposing player in the Dean Smith Center that was set by Lionel Simmons in 1988. Ziegler sprung free. He's got that NC State game is on ESPN2 Saturday night. It'll be a late start, about 10 o'clock Eastern with a game in front. Bradford commits his.
Right now that ties their season low. They're going to stay away from those offensive droughts. They need to be consistently, Tom, I think, in that 35-36% from the three-point line. It changes the game for them on the offensive end.
Cameron Carr with the turnover. Here's Southern on the other side.
I don't believe Tennessee's had a game this year with more turnovers than assists. And that's where they're at right now.
Yeah, that is a rarity. The deep 3 goes from Deuce Dean, his first bucket this half. 14 assists to 7 turnovers.
Let's make it 0 and 10.
Here's Aaron Banks downhill.
Damn!
Daney got a hand on it, but right back to Georgia Southern. Here's Carr for 3. Well, I noticed how the arena workers responded to you walking in today. They all reminded me that you beat me to the building. So I was able to walk on some of your rose petals. Malik Tidwell fouled for 3. Junior college. Well, he's been to another high school in Prolific Prep out in Napa. And they ended up at Bryant and
5. 1 of 5 right now that are playing at their 5th school of college basketball. But they came back in the second half, and they got better within this game.
No doubt about that. Tremendous second half. They've outscored 12th ranked team in the country by 12 since the break. Carr got a little push at the end, but still able to finish his first bucket of the night. Saturday, UNCW comes to Georgia Southern. They'll get a chance for their first win against a team that knocked off Kentucky at Rupp. And Bradford fouls Carr in the open floor. That is the 5th
Happening.
We got a chance of something happening, all right. Feel like that's more of a Luke Bryant jam, but
You do?
yeah. He could pass it on for you.
He's actually going to do a concert, right? Cole Swindell for Georgia Southern for
Yeah.
help with their athletic, raising money.
Here's some money for NIL.
Yeah.
Great idea. Charlie Henry was telling us he went and saw him in Birmingham, and the green room that he used was the same locker room Alabama used in the NCAA tournament, and their grease board had yet to be erased and was still in the same room with the entire Maryland scouting report on it. Well, a tale of 2 halves. Tennessee hammered Georgia Southern in the first half, 49-21. In the second half, Georgia Southern returned a favor. They won that half by 10. In the end, it's a 74-56 final.